Okay, so let's go into the daily. Daily. We have the daily right here, right? Daily zone. Then the daily zone right here, right above us. It's another daily zone. All right. There's two daily zones right there. Okay. So then we go to the 4 hours, right? We have rally base rally coming back to test the 4 hour zone right here, as you can tell. We go to the lower time frame, 1 hour, you see a pin bar, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, you see a pin bar. This entry signal was just enough for us to get in. And we have a break structure. It boosts, this is the last swing, low swing. So we have one, this is not really a structural point. Two, so those are the two last swing. You got the lower lows, lower high, lower lows, and then it breaks structure, it breaks that the last lower high, and then we getting in here. We're supposed to get in here with our stop loss halfway. And the orientation on this, right? The actual classic momentum that it potentially could happen. If it would have come down, I would have still buy. The reason I bought it right here where it is right now, right? And obviously we're going to the 2R because we're gonna blow right through it. Hmm? We're gonna blow right through this specific blowout. So the reason I bought it right here is due to the fact that this is the last swing of structure. You got lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. It breaks it, retest it, and then leaves. So that's how I know this is a good setup. So we're gonna stick around. We're gonna wait this for the price to hit our TP, and very likely if price would have dropped to this point, which then will be considered the neck of the movement, we will um, we will buy it right here as well. But I've seen this movement. It's two type of movement on the 5 minutes, right? Structure will either give you this one. Let me show you. It will give you this one. It's on the way down, and then slowly the price takes off, retest, and it takes off, right? This is more like a scenario, like a more user friendly scenario where you have the downside coming down, right? Let me just use this one. Where you have the downside coming down. Oops. Yeah. Where you have the down, and then you have the break structure. You have the break a structure, and then an impulse move into it. So this is what you will actually see, right? But what you see right here in the 5 minutes, right, is this is totally different scenario, right? This is point one of the scenarios that you would actually look into when the price is about to leave the zone, mostly in the 5 minutes when you're dealing with NAS, US 30, or gold. You'll be looking at this scenario. Obviously, we trading from the daily, um, zone. So the second scenario will be very like this, very likewise. And then this will just pull really hard. It won't give you no sense of structure. And then it will give you like a little thing like this, but it's not really a structure. And then it will boost and it will support, it'll create support where the last swing was at, you know? And this is exactly what went on right here. This type of shitty, it's a shitty structure where it gets you all confused. Where it gets you all confused and you think this is the point of structure, but this is not. This 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 is locking structure. This is a lock of structure. See, we are already 3R almost, but we're gonna let our run, okay? So you see there's a scenario, a whole scenario right here. It's actually bouncing from the 4 hour, and we usually, as you see, we trading the daily and the 4 hours. Those are the two time frames that we are associating ourselves with. And as you can tell, um, these two scenarios will happen in the lower time frame. Obviously, it's a correlation on time frame. Um, this time frame, I do have a picture that I would like to share. I don't know where it is exactly, but pretty much, right? When we see the daily uptrending, right? There's different scenarios that will happen on this. So let me just describe it right quickly, right? Um, there's different scenarios that we will get. We're gonna get. Let me put it right here so we can have a clear path to draw what are we associating ourselves with. Let me make sure. So and let me in the green, right? That green spot, right? Let's say this is the daily time frame, right? You have the daily time frame, right? And when the daily is uptrending, right? We're gonna have we're gonna have different points, right? Where the price is swinging to the high, right? And this is just the daily. And obviously right here will be the next swing to the low, right? When it's actually making a higher low. So let me erase this to keep it simple. But something happens right here, right? And this is exactly what happened. There is a higher time frame on the way up. But on the lower time frame, what you will get, right? You will get a scenario of different type of structure, right? You will get the 4 hours, you will get a structure that is potentially on the uptrend, right? Right. Let me just all right, right. So you will get something likewise on the 4 hours. They say this is the 4 hours, right? And and you have then the lower time frame giving you signals, like the 1 hour signal candles, plus the 15 minutes candlesticks, signals, right? And 1 hour, 15 minutes, even 30 minutes, right? It's going to give us signals on where it's going to give us signal. Well, it's going to give us signals on this swings on the 4 hours. Let's say this is just the 4 hours demand, And this point of correlations that you see right here, I'm going to illustrate in just a minute. Those points, right, that you're seeing right there will be this point right here. So in the 5 minutes, what you will see is a structure that is very choppy, right? And you're going to see this going down, going down, going down, and eventually going sideways, and then breaking structure. That's scenario one on the lower time frame, 5 minutes. This will be the 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And then another 5 minute scenario will be very likely, right? Let me just point this out right here. You're going to have this down, and then you're going to have a long pull, and then coming up. These are the two scenarios you're going to have on the 5 minutes. When it comes to this green zone right here, you're going to have these two scenarios. Obviously, this is the daily time frame. This is the 4 hours. It's a correlation with the demand zones that has been created in the 4 hours. And then we look into signals from the 1 hour, 15-minute candle signals, 30-minute signals. And then what we notice is that in the 5 minutes, when he breaks structure and we have signals going on, it's good enough for us to go on with the trade. And obviously, we're going to swing this trade all the way to the new higher high. The higher high that has been created on the 4 hours, we're going to ride it all the way up to the 4 hours higher high when it's uptrending. And obviously, since we're trading the daily in the 4 hours, it makes so much sense to do such thing. But this is the two scenarios that we'll get. And guess what happened today? Exactly that. We had this downtrending, and if we put it on the lines, we can see even better. But so let's keep it original. We have downtrending movement, swing points, and then it comes really high, and on the lower time frame, it comes low, and then it breaks that swing, comes back, and it takes off. And as you can tell, we swing to the 4 hours. It's swinging to the higher high on the 4 hours. So we could potentially take TP and go on with our day, or we could just potentially let it run and see when the price is to get out. And the way to manage this trade is to actually see how structure is behaving in the lower time frame. That's all I got for you guys.